Good day everyone, my name is Romel Escoringal with
Maria Bustamea Kumari.
and we are the reporter of chapter 13B entitled Gross Estate of Married Dissidents. So yun, our goals and objective with this report is to understand the presentation of gross estate of a married dissident. Pangalawa is to comprehend the various property regimes applicable to spouses. And third is to master the nature of each property regime. And in last is to able to compute the separate and exclusive properties of the spouses under absolute community of property and conjugal partnership of the. Kaya guys, panoorin nyo hanggang dulo yung video nito kasi meron kaming inahandang pen and paper discussion na kung saan i-discuss namin yung isang comprehensive illustration with regards sa gross estate of a married dissident. Let's proceed to the gross estate of a married dissident. So guys, ano ba muna si married dissident? Married dissident is ito yung namatay na may asawa o yung namatay is kasal. Okay? Next is the gross estate of a married dissident is composed of. Ibig sabihin yung gross estate sa pagkukompute is pwedeng exclusive at common. Exclusive na para lamang yung kay dun sa namatay, then common is pwedeng may part dun sa namatay at dun sa kanyang asawa. So yun guys, in terms of reporting naman natin sa Bureau of Internal Revenue is gagamitin natin si BIR form number 1801. Sa pagpa-file natin ng estate tax return, ang gagamitin nating BIR form is 1801 na kung saan naka-indicate doon yung exclusive na para lamang dun sa namatay at communal or conjugal na para naman dun sa pagmamayari ng mag-asawa. So, dun sa slide namin na ipapresent is nakalagay din yung format kung paano computin si gross estate tax. Property relations between spouses. So guys, pwede kayong tumingin dun sa sinend kong Excel file na nakalagay dun yung Article 74 ng ating Family Code. Nakalagay dun, the property relationship between husband and wife shall be governed in the following order. So guys, ang hirap pala magpakasal kasi kailangan pa nating may kailangan pa tayong pag-uusap na magaganap. So, una is marriage settlement executed before the marriage. Ito yung tinatawag nating prenuptial agreement. Kung meron niyang prenup sa bago magpakasal, mga picture-picture, ay kailangan nyo muna rin mag-usap-usap para sa pagmamayari ninyo. Baka kinakawan pa ng iyong magiging asawa sa susunod na panahon. So, yun nga, kailangan nyo mag-usap. Ang tawag doon ay prenuptial agreement, tama. Pangalawa, halimbawa, wala kayong pinag-usapan dahil nakalimutan nyo na mag-usap, excited kayo magpakasal. And ang gagawin nyo, ang masusunod naman doon is yung provision ng family code. Ano yung provision ng family code? Ito yun. Yan. Si family code kasi, in-effect yan nung dito, wait lang ha. August 3, 1988. Noon, di pa tayo bata noon. 1988, nang in-effect yung family code. So yan, tabingin ulit. So yan. Before August 3, 1988, ang magpiprevail guys doon is conjugal partnership of gains. Conjugal partnership of gains. On or after naman ng family code, ang mag-prevail is absolute community property. Ano ba yun? Hindi ko naintindihan to. Mamaya, i-discuss ko kung ano tong pinagsasabi kong to. Okay? So, yun. Pag walang prenuptial agreement, dahil nakalimutan nyo mag-uusap, dahil excited kayo magpakasal, ang susundin or mag-prevail is the provision of the family code, which is ito nga yan. So kapag wala pa din marriage settlement, tapos biglang naglaho ito, ang masusunod na is the local custom. So yun guys, common types types of property regimes. Diba? Kanina may pinagsasabi-sabi akong conjugal, may sinabi pa akong absolute, ganon-ganon. So, dito ko i-discuss yun. Una is the absolute separation property. Ano ba itong absolute separation property? Very self-explanatory naman, di ba? Separation, ibig sabihin, pag-iiwa-iwalayin. Halimbawa, si Mr. X ay nagpakasal kay Mrs. Y. Diba? Halimbawa, yun lang, yung lupa. Tapos sabi ni Mr. X, kanya yun. Tapos, yung kotse. Ang sabi ni Mrs. Y, akin yung kotse. In that, nagkaroon ng separation. Nagkaroon ng absolute separation of property. Gets nyo yan? Sunod naman tayo sa conjugal partnership of gains. Conjugal, ibig sabihin, parehas, common. Parehas din ang pagmamayari yung partnership of gains na yun o yung property na yun. Okay? So, dito, ang general rule natin sa conjugal partnership of gain is susulat ko, baka hindi makita eh. So yun, let's say for example, si Mr. X nagpakasal kay Mrs. Y. Tapos si Mr. X bago magpakasal is may land. Okay? Itong land na to, sa absolute community of property, magiging pagmamayari na rin ni Mrs. Y yung land na ito. So yun lang yung absolute community of property. Ulit, ang common types of property regimes are absolute separation of property, kung saan pag-uusapan lang ninyo kung kanino mapupunta yung isang property na ito, yung property na ganito, so yun lang yun. Pangalawa is conjugal partnership of gains, na kapag before marriage, exclusive, kapag after marriage is conjugal. Kapag naman absolute community of property, before marriage, community sila, common or joint. Kapag naman after marriage is community sila, common or joint. So, ano ba yung sense kung bakit natin pinag-uusapan yung common types of property regimes? Ganito lang yan. Halimbawa, si Mr. X namatay. Si Mr. X namatay ha, dahil ang properties lamang ni Mr. X, yung pagmamayaring properties lamang ni Mr. X ang masasubject sa estate tax. Kapag kasi may common or community, silang mag-asawa, yung kay surviving spouse o yung sa buhay pa niyang asawa is hindi pa subject yun sa tax kasi buhay pa nga yun. Ang kukunin mo lamang dito sa common to is yung parte ni Mr. X dun sa common properties na yun. At yun yung subject sa estate tax. Okay? Yung kay surviving spouse ay hindi subject sa estate tax kasi buhay pa si surviving spouse. Okay?
Okay.
Rules in determining the property of relationship. Una, kailangan nyo munang mag-usap or magkaroon kayo ng marriage settlement. Sabi ko nga kanina, ang tawag doon? Ang tawag doon? Ala, limot na. Alam ko limot na yon. Ang tawag doon is prenuptial agreement. Kapag wala nangyaring prenuptial agreement, ang mangyayari ay kung ano yung sinasabi ng code na kapag before ng effectivity of family code, ang magpiprevail is conjugal partnership of gains, at kapag naman on or after the effectivity of family code, ang magpiprevail is absolute community of property. So yun, na-discuss ko na kung ano ibig sabihin ng conjugal partnership of gains, yung absolute community of property, kaya alam ko na may idea na kayo kung ano yung mga yan.
Okay? Nandito po yung basic rules in determination of the property interest. So the first one is the common property presumption rule. So ano ba yung common property presumption rule? So pag sinabing hanggat walang kasunduan, ibig sabihin hindi mapapatunayan or hindi mo pwedeng sabihin separate yon. So ang exception lang dito sa rule na to is yung ASP, which is absolute separation properties. The next one is the classification or consistent classification rule. So ano ba yung consistent? So pag Pag sinabing separate, separate. Pag sinabing common, common. So ano ba yung common? Pag sinabing common, halimbawa, nagpakasal si Mr. X kay Mrs. X. So ang common is kung ano yung pagmamayari ni Mr. X, ayun na rin ang pagmamayari ni Mrs. X. So, number 3 is accrual in value or gain on sale of property. So ito yung nasa kasunduan nilang mag-asawa. The next one is the conjugal partnership of gain or CPG. So, properties before the marriage. So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa ulit, si Mr. X at saka si Miss X ay nag-usap magpakasal. So, ibig sabihin, yung property nila pareho ay exclusive. So, yung properties derived during the marriage. Ito na yung during the marriage. For first one is from fruits, income, and gains. So, ito na yung common sa kanila. And then from gracious acquisition or transfer tax is exclusive. Halimbawa nito ay pamana, donor, gano'n. And then the next one is absolute community of property or ACP. So makikita po natin dito sa PowerPoint na meron po dito diagram or arrow-arrow. So the first is before marriage is retrospective, and then during the marriage is magiging prospective. So, tingnan natin yung sa retrospective feature is all properties which the spouse owned before the marriage, which they brought into marriage, will become common properties. However, meron ditong exception. So, halimbawa, si Mr. X at si Mrs. X nagpakasal. Pero, si Mr. X ay may ex-wife, which is legally naghiwalay sila, which is si Mrs. Y. Si Mr. X at saka si Mrs. Y ay may anak, which is si Mr. Z. So, ang tawag kay Mr. Z is descendant or legitimate child ni Mr. X. So, therefore, yung common rule na ACP is before and during and after the marriage is ano yung pagmamayari ni Mr. X at ni Mrs. X ay common na sila. However, ang exception dito is may asawa, which is may legitimate child si Mr. X. Halimbawa, may land si Mr. X before the marriage ay namatay si Mr. X. So therefore, mapapapunta yung land kay Mr. Z. And exclusive na yung kay Mrs. X. Kasi, before the marriage, yun yung general rule. Before the marriage, is may pagmamayari na to and may legitimate child si Mr. X. Dito naman po sa prospective feature is, ito na yung during the marriage. All properties which the spouse may acquire during the marriage from their separate or joint labor or industry are common properties. So ano nga ba ulit yung common? Yung common is kung ano yung pagmamayari ni husband ay pagmamayari ni wife. However, may exception dito which is, yun nga, gracious acquisition received by either spouses. So halimbawa, may pamana kay husband, ibig sabihin ay hindi yun pagmamayari ni wife. And then fruits of exclusive property. And then next is properties acquired for exclusive personal use of either spouse except jewelry. So, summary of rules of ACP. So, babasahin ko na lang po, which is property acquired from gracious acquisition before the marriage, common, and then during the marriage, property. So, exclusive property of the descendant. So, sa conjugal is included siya. While dito naman sa absolute community property is included din siya. So, sa common properties naman, pag conjugal, ibig sabihin included, and then sa absolute naman is included din. Sa exclusive properties of the surviving spouse is hindi siya included. Sa absolute ay hindi rin siya included.
So yun guys, may pre-report kaming summary lahat ng diniscuss namin. Kapag under CPG, exclusive ba siya or common? Kapag under ACP, ano ba siya? Community or exclusive or common or joint? So, makikita nyo naman to guys sa, sa Excel file na sinad namin ni Tam sa GC along with the video discussion. So, habang nag-discuss ako ng problem, pwede kayo dun mag-base time to time. Okay?
So now, let's proceed to paper and pen discussion. Make sure to download first the soft copy of the problem, get your calculator, and compute with us.
So yan, hello everyone. Now, this is the paper and pen discussion of the computational part of our report, which is the gross estate of a married decedent. Nag-prepare po ako dito ng isang comprehensive illustration na matututunan natin on how to compute the conjugal partnership of gains and estate tax due under absolute community of property. Then, nag-prepare din po ako dito ng isang proforma on how to compute this. Makikita natin dito na andito yung conjugal partnership of gain, absolute community of property para mabilis yung ating maging flow of discussion. Then, andito rin si gross estate, less deduction, less special deductions, less the share of surviving spouse, which is makukuha natin si net taxable estate and i-times lang natin sa tax rate na 6%, then makukuha natin si estate tax due. So now, let's proceed to the discussion. So, itong problem na to is makikita nyo to or makukuha nyo to dun sa Excel file na sinad namin. Pwede nyong i-download yon, pwede nyong i-print, then pwede kayong makisabay sa aming discussion para mas maintindihan nyo ng madali yung computational part ng estate tax. Then, kumuha din kayo ng calculator, makisabay kayo sa akin to compute this. Okay? Now, let's proceed to the problem. The estate of Mr. X, a resident citizen decedent married who died on April 1, 2021 are as follows. So, ang goal natin is to compute the estate tax due under the conjugal partnership of gain at estate tax due under absolute community of property. Okay. Una, house and lot serving as a family home amounting 13 million. Tapos may backup na information. The lot was acquired. Ibig sabihin may lot. May hati siya. Si lot acquired at 3 million at si before marriage to ha, yung lot. Sabi dito before marriage, while the house during marriage naman siya ay 10 million. Doon muna tayo sa lot. Yung lot sa conjugal partnership of gain, as we all know, diba, diniscuss ko kaninang general rule ng conjugal partnership. Kapag before marriage, exclusive siya. Kapag after marriage, common or conjugal siya. Yan, diba? Diniscuss ko to kanina. Then, ang sabi dito, yung lot daw is before marriage. Before marriage. Ito, before marriage. Kaya, exclusive siya. Exclusive siya. Yan, lagyan natin, 3 million. Okay? Then, sa absolute common unity of property, before marriage is common. Kaya, ilagay natin siya sa common. Yung 3 million. Okay? Okay, sana nagets nyo yun. Then, yung house naman, ang sabi dyan, is during marriage, itinayo, amounting of 10 million. Sa conjugal partnership of gain, like what I said kanina, sa general rule, Pag after marriage, yan, pag after marriage, conjugal, common siya. Okay, common. Lagay natin, common. Yung 10 million. Then, sa absolute community property naman, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, sa general rule, makikita natin dito na after marriage is common. Ibig sabihin, parehas lang pala sila ng treatment. Okay, 10 million. Next. Properties acquired during marriage o sa conjugal partnership of gain, like what I said kanina sa general rule, pag during marriage or after marriage, siya ay conjugal. Conjugal na siya. Kaya ilagay natin dito is 5 million. Then, sa absolute community of property naman, katulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina sa general rule, guys, lagi nyong i-apply si general rule. Okay? Mamaya may i-discuss ako mga special rule, pero laging i-apply natin si general rule. Okay? Sa absolute community property, kapag during marriage, lagi siyang common. So, yan. Next is the property acquired during marriage o during marriage na naman in exchange of exclusive property. Nasa ano to? Nasa special na rule. Makikita nyo yung mga special rule dun sa Excel na pinasa namin sa inyo na pwede nyo siyang i-download. Makikita nyo dun sa summary. Makikita nyo dun yung gantong file kalagay dyan. O, andito yung problem natin kanina. In exchange of exclusive property. Kapag CPG, exclusive siya. Kapag ACP, exclusive siya. Parehas lang pala siya ng treatment. Ibig sabihin, ilagay natin dito, 3 million is exclusive. Exclusive. Sa absolute is, sabi, exclusive din. So, yon. Next. Properties acquired before marriage. Before marriage. Where Mr. X has a legitimate child on a previous marriage. Kasal sa dati. Tapos, may anak. Anong treatment doon? Makikita niyo ulit yung sa Excel file na pinasa ko sa inyo. Where the spouse has a legitimate descendant from a previous marriage. Kapag CPG, exclusive. Kapag ACP, exclusive. Parehas lang ulit ng treatment. Ilagay natin, 2 million, exclusive. Tapos 2 million din dito. Exclusive din siya sa. Next is jewelry inherited during marriage, then with a fair market value of 1.3 million. Ang treatment natin sa jewelry is ito. If jewelry, community under ACP. Matik na yon na kapag jewelry under ACP is community siya or common. Lagyan natin. Absolute 2.5 million. Then sa jewelry naman, sa conjugal partnership of gain, dahil yung jewelry is kanyang namana during marriage, namana, which is the gratuitous title, under CPG, exclusive siya. Okay? Exclusive. Next. Apartment units in Japan acquired during marriage. Acquired during marriage. Ibig sabihin, dahil during marriage, acquired, binili. Kaya ang tawag yun ay onerous title. Pag CPG, conjugal siya. Kapag ACP, conjugal din siya. Or community or common. Parehas lang ng treatment. Parehas silang sa common na 2.7 million. Next, rental income from the apartment units up to the time of death. Rental income, ito na yung tinatawag nating gain. Gain. Anong treatment natin dyan? Dahil gain siya, matik, common na yan. Sa parehas, sa conjugal at sa absolute. 200,000. Next, itong casualty losses incurred in November 1, 2021 na common is ito ay isasama natin sa deductions. Sa deduction siya. Bali na pag-aralin natin siya in the past chapter. Then, yung sunod, the claims against insolvent person which is 100% uncollectible na common is kasama sa pag-compute ng gross estate. Kaya isasama natin siya na common daw ha, 500,000. Dito rin sa ACP, 500,000. Okay, i-total natin. Let's compute. Sa conjugal muna tayo. Exclusive muna, 3 million plus 3 million plus 2 million plus 2.5 is 10,500,000. Next, sa common naman tayo, 10 million plus 5 million plus 2.7 million plus 200,000 plus 500,000. Dapat nakuha nyo si 18,400,000. Okay. Bali, ang total niya is 28,900. Okay, nakuha nyo yun? Okay, dito naman tayo sa absolute community of property. Okay, let's compute. Exclusive, 3 million plus 2 million, 5 million, nakuha nyo yun. Okay, sulat natin, 5 million. Then, sa common naman, compute natin, we have 3 million plus 10 million plus 5 million plus 2.5 million plus 2.7 million plus 200,000 plus 500,000. Dapat nakuha nyo si 23,900. 23,900. Ang total niya is 28,900. Okay? Let's proceed to the deductions. Sa deductions naman tayo. Yung casualty losses na sinabi ko kanina sa inyo is deduction yan. Common na 200,000. 200,000. So, i-deduct natin sa total din. 200,000. Common lang siya ha. Okay. Next, itong claims insolvent person which is 100% uncollectible. Ibig sabihin, expense na rin yun or deduction na rin yun na 500,000. Common din. Okay, deduct din dito. Deduct natin sa total. Ayan. Next is yung unpaid taxes, mga hindi nabayaran tax, nakalagay dyan, exclusive. Kaya exclusive lang siya. Magkano? 100,000. Exclusive lang. Yan. So, yan nakukuha na natin ang net natin bago tayo mag-deduct ng mga special deduction. So, less na natin. 10,500,000 less 100,000 is 10,400,000 common naman is 18,400,000 less 700,000 is 17,700. Tapos yung total na 28,900 less 200,000 less 500,000 less 100,000. Dapat nakuha nyo din sa 28 million and 100,000. Okay? Sa absolute community property naman tayo. Absolute community property, compute natin. Ito, 5 million less 100,000 is 4,900,000. Wait, 5 million, yeah. 4,900,000. Then dito, na 23,900,000 less 200,000 less 500,000 is, dapat nakuha nyo sa 23,200. 23,200. Tapos ito, 28,900 less 200,000 less 500,000 less 100,000 is 28,100. Yung standard deduction natin, i-deduct natin si 5 million. Standard deduction natin yan. 5 million. Sa pare. Yeah, dito pala. Ay, sorry. Dito. Sa total na 5 million. Sa total natin siya i-deduct palagi. Yung mga special deduction natin. Okay? 5 million. Then, yung family home na special deduction natin, paano computein? Itong 3 million niya na exclusive para lang kay Mr. X, 3 million niya plus yung house na 10 million na common, ibig sabihin may hati siya dyan na 10 million divided by 2 is 5 million, which is total ng 8 million. 8 million yung magiging special deduction natin sa family home, di ba? Dun sa mga previous discussion natin, 8 million or 10 million, di ba? 10 million yung magiging which is lowest, yun yung magiging special deduction natin sa family home. Kaya 8 million yung gagamitin natin. Okay? Sa absolute community property naman, dahil yung lot is nasa common na 3 million, tapos yung house na nasa 10 million, sabihin, 13 million, hatiin natin sa 2 kasi yun ang kanyang kahati dyan, 6.5. 6.5 versus 10 million, which is lowest, yun yung gagamitin natin, which is 6,500,000. Okay? So, yun. Makakompute natin na si net. The 28,100,000 less 5 million less 8 million. Dapat nakuha nyo din si 15,100,000. 15,100,000. Tapos, sa absolute naman, dapat 28 million less 5 million less 6.5. Dapat nakuha nyo si 16,600,000. 16,600,000. Okay? Sunod, itong share of surviving spouse. Bakit kailangang i-deduct si share of surviving spouse? Kasi, syempre, buhay pa naman si surviving spouse, kaya hindi pa siya subject sa estate tax. Ang isa-subject lang natin sa estate tax is yung kay Mr. X, kasi si Mr. X yung namatay. Kaya nga, pinag-aralan natin yung property regimes para ma-identify natin kung alin ba yung exclusive at yung common nilang dalawa. Okay? Yun yung purpose kung bakit natin kailangang i-deduct si share of surviving spouse. Okay? Doon yung sa common lang naman, yung kalahati. 'Di ba? Ang common nila is 17,700,000. 17,700,000 divided by 2 8,850,000 yung i-deduct natin. 8,850,000. Ibig sabihin, itong 8,850,000 is hindi subject sa estate tax kasi ito ay pagmamay-ari ni surviving spouse which is buhay pa. So, dito naman sa absolute, 23,200,000 divided by 2 is 11,600 yung share ni surviving spouse. Okay? So, after that, nakukompute na natin si net taxable estate which is 15,100,000 less 8,850 which is dapat nakuha nyo si 6,250,000 sa ano yun ha, sa conjugal partnership. Sa absolute community property naman dapat nakuha nyo si 16,600,000 less 11,600,000 which is 5 million. Dapat nakuha nyo yan. Okay? Then guys, i-multiply natin sa tax rate ng estate tax which is 6%. Okay, 6%. 6 to 50,000. 6 to 50,000. 6 to 50,000 times 6%. Dapat nakuha nyo si 375,000. Then, dito naman tayo sa absolute community of property na 5 million na net taxable estate times na 6%. Dapat nakuha nyo guys si 300,000. Yan. So, yan. Na-compute natin everyone ang estate tax due under conjugal partnership which is 375,000 and the estate tax due under absolute community of property naman na 300,000. I hope you learned something and meron akong i-prepare na exercise for you guys na pwede nyo sagutan na problem about estate tax. Nasa Excel din yun na pinasa ko and the solution is isasend ko na lang din sa file na yun. So yun, thank you everyone. I hope and na may natutunan kayo sa discussion namin ni Miss Krista May Umali. So thank you everyone and God bless us all.
Thank you for listening and God bless us all. We hope you learned something. Padayon, future CPAs!